What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, and it is so good to see you tonight. This is Virtual Life Study with the Rehab Christian Center. I am Dr. Zeb Talley, and I am proud to be the pastor of the most awesome church in the Triad and the nicest church on the planet. And glad to be here tonight. Listen, I'm a little sad, as if you can't tell tonight. I'm a little sad that tonight is the end of our 7-dater series. That's it. Tonight, that's it. I have extended this thing 2 extra weeks for all of y'all. And tonight we are done. We are finished with the 7-dater series tonight. And we're talking about perhaps one of the most exciting daters tonight to conclude the series, and that is the planner. Again, I made it very clear to you at the beginning of the series that while this is a dating series, these lessons I hope can be applied to your life and friendships and work relationships or whatever types of ships you are in. And so I hope you've been able to apply these lessons. Listen, I need you to do a number of things. Number one, if you are tuned in this morning, make sure that this morning, it's been a blur of a day. If you are tuned in this evening, when you come into the room, the first thing I need you to do is speak. Don't walk in church and not speak to anybody. So it's okay to type in the comments and say good evening. I may not see your comments, but I'm sure other people will. They will speak back. They'll like your comments. And so please make sure that you speak. If you're on Instagram, good evening to you. Please feel free to speak and say good evening. I want you to tag Instagram 5 people quickly. Tell them to get in the room tonight. I'm going to be done in 60 minutes. I'm going to try my best to finish this in 60 minutes tonight or less. And so I want you to tag 5 people Instagram and welcome them in the room and tell them to tune in. Facebook, good evening to you. If you're in the room, please make sure you don't come in the room and don't speak. It is good to see you. It's rude to come to church and not speak to nobody. And so make sure you speak this evening, and it's good to see you. Now, I need you to start your watch party. Start your watch party where you are on Facebook. And not only that, I need you on Facebook to tag 5 people and tell them to tune in. This is going to be a powerful lesson, a very, very powerful lesson. And so I need you to tag 5 people quickly and tell them to tune into this 7-dater series. We're talking about the planner tonight. And so this is going to be a fun lesson, but very practical, and really going to share some things tonight that I hope you are seeking. So again, Facebook, I want you to share this. I want you to share this video. I want you to like it, share it, start your watch party, invite 5 people, tag them quickly. Periscope, good evening to you. If you are there, fill it up with some hearts. It is good to see you in the Periscope Twitter world. I want you to tag 5 people as well quickly. Encourage them to tune in, get into the room quickly, because I want to start this session in literally 60 seconds. I'm not wasting time tonight. I want to start this in 60 seconds and get right into what I believe will be a very powerful lesson on the planner. We're going to talk about the planner tonight. We're going to talk about what types of characteristics the planner has and how the planner is so vital to all of our lives. All of us need to be connected to planners on some level, shape, or fashion. And many of you, you're going to discover you're a planner as well. And so I think this is going to be a brilliant and a very powerful conversation tonight. And I can't wait to give you some very practical things. We have been very biblical and practical for the last, 9 weeks now. Wow, we have been on this, I think, for 9 weeks. For the last 9 weeks, it's been very biblical and very practical. And tonight won't be any different. I'm going to give you some Bible verses in the beginning to start us, but then I'm really going to just nail you with practicality tonight. And because we've really spent a lot of time rooting this series in the Word of God, and I hope you have been able to find some answers to some things. All right, you got 30 seconds. Have you tagged 5 people? Some of you are speaking. I see you getting in the room. We need to get our numbers up really quickly. So make sure you tag 5 people. I need you to tag Facebook. Wake up. I need you to tag 5 people quickly and get 5 people invited to church and tell them to tune in for this 7-dater series. And I promise you it's going to be a blessing. Tag 5 people now. Start your watch party. Let them know that they need to tune in for a very powerful, exciting lesson tonight. And I can't wait to share this experience with you. I've got 7:14, and I'm getting ready to get started tonight. We are going to deal with the planner. And so I want you at any moment to continue to tag people as you are recording notes in the notes or recording notes in the comments. You know how we do on Tuesdays. So feel free to record your notes in the comments, but as you are recording notes, feel free to tag people as we are covering points that might reflect individuals you're connected to. I believe this message is going to be a blessing. I see the numbers slowly climbing, and so I want you to continue to tag people and encourage them to tune in. Tonight, last night of the series, we're going to deal with the planner. All right. And this is the very first bullet point I want to give you. All right. God was our first example of a planner. All right. God is our first example of a planner. He's our first example of a planner, right? If you go all the way back to Genesis chapter 1, the story of the creation provides some solid truths about what planning looks like. You go back and read the story of creation. In the beginning, Genesis 1, you will see some solid truths about what good planning looks like. And we can find this in Genesis 1. Go to Genesis 1. If you go to Genesis 1, right in the beginning, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. From the start, there was a plan. So from the beginning of time, God, as the greatest and first example of planning, or what a planner looks like, is that even in the beginning, when he created the heavens and the earth, from the start, he had a plan. So he didn't just accidentally do it. He didn't just haphazardly do it. He created the heavens and the earth with a plan. So God is our first and ultimate example of what a planner does. And that is, again, from the start, planners have a plan. They don't make it up as they go. There may be some abbreviations along the way. There may be some adjustments along the way, but planners start things with a plan, right? When the earth was void, keep reading. Genesis 1. When the earth was void, God says, let there be light, and there was light. I'm making this very practical tonight. Let there be light, and there was light. And so it is a reminder that planners use vision to speak to empty spaces. Planners use vision to speak to empty spaces. When you've got a planner on your hand, and a planner understands the game plan of where things need to go and where they need to be, that planner also possesses the ability to speak light or to speak energy or to speak life into empty spaces. So one of the beautiful things about being connected to a planner is that they can see something void and dull and dark, but they can speak light to it. Just as God spoke vision to an empty earth, a dark earth, and he spoke light to that, planners can speak light into dull or dark situations. All right. I'm giving you nuggets already. Right. Keep going. If you keep reading, you'll notice that the work of each day builded on the work of the previous day. Right. Light did not happen. God didn't speak light without darkness. Darkness had to happen first. He spoke light in darkness. When he speaks light in darkness, it is the light that he speaks that builds on what was already there. Days and nights were not separated. He did not begin to call the day day and the night night until he separated the days. This is important. Preacher, where are you going with this? When you are dealing with the planner, not only are they strategic in nature, but everything that they do builds on top of one another. They are builders. Everything that they do, everything that they plan, every ounce of energy that they direct to a situation builds on top of each other, right? And so with planners, the plan is not the destination, but it is a roadmap on how to get there. When you're dealing with a planner, right? God does not get to the destination by day 3. What he does is he moves through the plan to get to the eventual destination, which is the creation of man and animals and earth and giving them dominion over the animals. He builds us up to that point. And so when you're dealing with planners, you're not dealing with the destination. And so this is critical. If your mindset is not right, if your mentality is not right with a planner, you can get confused, you can get upset, you can get frustrated when they are building, because you will mistake what they are building or the process of building for what it is that they are actually building. And sometimes the plan does not look like the product. You hear what I'm saying? Sometimes the plan does not look like the product. And so you got to stop dating You got to stop connecting with people who have no plans, people who make no plans, people who desire no plans, people whose every move is more of the spur of the moment and less of building on one thing after another. Now, this does not suggest that you should have everything figured out in your life. You're not going to have everything figured out in your life. But what this does or should suggest is that when you are connected to a planner, you are connected to someone who has at least a roadmap of the direction of where they're heading. Y'all got to stop giving these Negroes the time of day who have no roadmap for their lives. Again, I'm not suggesting that you have all the answers. I'm not even suggesting that you should have all the answers. But what I am suggesting is that you should have a plan. And not only should you have a plan, because we are not God perfect, you should have a plan A and you should have a plan B, and if necessary, a plan C. Because the plan creates the roadmap for where it is that you're trying to go. And so if you're dating somebody without a plan, you're dating somebody without a destiny. Did you hear what I said? I'm trying to be nice tonight, not scream. Pastor's just a little tired. If you're dating somebody without a plan, you're dating somebody without a destiny. If you're friends with somebody without a plan, you're friends with somebody without a destiny. And so there is this direct connection between our ability to plan and our ability to understand where it is that we're heading. All right. And so you got to stop doing that. Now, look at this. I want you to go to Proverbs chapter 16, New Living Translation, really quickly. Proverbs 16, because I've got to read about 9 verses tonight. I'm going to go through about 9 verses tonight. Proverbs 16, I've got to give you a couple of bullet points, and then I'm going to give you the 5 characteristics, and I'm done. Proverbs chapter 16, New Living Translation. Proverbs chapter 16, New Living Translation. I want you to find it quickly. Then I'm going to give you many things that you can type in the comments tonight and share notes as you're following along. Listen, if you haven't tagged 5 people, tag 5 people quickly and tell them to tune in. We're moving tonight. Proverbs 16, verse 1 through 9, New Living Translation. I want to share this with you. The work of a planner is guided by spiritual insight. The work of a planner is guided by spiritual insight. The work of a planner is guided by spiritual insight. Look at this. Proverbs 16, verse 1 through 9. Verse 1 says, we can make our own plans, but the Lord gives the right answer. Verse 2, people may be pure in their own eyes, but the Lord examines their motives. Look at verse 3. Commit your actions to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. The Lord has made everything, verse 4, for his own purposes, even the wicked for a day of disaster. Verse 5, the Lord detests the proud. They will surely be punished. Verse 6, unfailing love and faithfulness make atonement for sin. By fearing the Lord, people avoid evil. Watch verse 7, one of my favorite verses. When people's lives please the Lord, even their enemies are at peace with them. I'm going to interrupt what I'm reading just to say this, because this is one of my favorite verses. The reason why some of your enemies are giving you such a fit is because God is not pleased with your behavior. And we ain't even talking about that tonight, but that's a bonus. When God ain't pleased with you, he will turn the heart of your enemies even colder. I've discovered from personal experience that my enemies can digest me better because God is pleased with. When God is pleased with you, even your enemies can digest you better. They may not still like you. They may not still want to be around you, but they can handle you better when they can clearly see that God is not, his hands are not only on you, but that he's pleased with you. Y'all with me? Look at verse 8. Better to have little with godliness than to be rich and dishonest. Here's what I want. Verse number 9. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. I'm talking to believers right now. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. Let me say this to you. At the core of how the planner operates is what I call divine wisdom. At the core of how the planner, that is the believer, operates is what I call divine wisdom. A godly planner sees their life within the larger construct of a larger spiritual plan. The godly believer, the godly planner, sees their life within the construct of a larger spiritual plan. So they don't just make plans because they feel good. They don't just make plans because it looks good. They don't just make plans because that's what they're feeling for the moment. They make plans within the larger construct of a larger spiritual plan, right? So how they go about planning, how they go about constructing, it's very much connected to a larger spiritual effort that they intend to make, and a larger spiritual connection with God that they have. And so this is important. When you understand that, then you understand that as a planner, as a believer that is a planner, you have to understand that your connections to your plans have to be more spiritual than they are carnal. The connections to the plans that you make have to be more spiritual than they are carnal. In other words, you're not making plans because they feel good. You're not making plans because they always appeal to you. Sometimes you're making plans that you don't even like, that you're not even pleased with, that you have moved beyond, that are of no interest to you. But you have to make plans according to how the Spirit guides you and not how your flesh guides you. Now, we got proof of this because I'm going to debunk something that many of you have heard in church many times. Now I'm going to debunk something with you quickly. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, I think it's verse 13, 14, 12, 13, 14. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 says, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, right? So we've heard that verse, not being unequally yoked. And we think that it's only a spiritual connection, that a saved person should only be with a saved person, right? That a Holy Ghost-filled person should only be with a Holy Ghost-filled person. I want to expand your thinking tonight. It's bigger than that. Being unequally yoked simply means you need to connect with someone who's on the same wavelength as you. And this wavelength isn't always just spiritual. This wavelength can be emotional. Yes, we understand the spiritual part. If you're a believer and you connect with an unbeliever, you're going to have results that you got to live with. Amen. If you are a believer that connects with somebody that don't even like God, don't even believe in God, you're going to have to deal with some results that come with that, right? So we understand that. But I want you to understand that even broader. You need to connect with somebody on the same emotional page. You need to connect with somebody on the same maturity page, because you can be mature and connect with an immature person because you are attracted to them, attracted to what they bring, attracted to what they do, attracted to how they look, attracted to all of these superficial things. And you can be unequally yoked from an emotional and maturity standpoint. You need to connect with people who are either, I'm going to lose some of you here, on the same financial page or have the same perspective regarding finances. Now, I want to lose you. It doesn't mean that only rich people belong to rich people. It doesn't mean that only poor people belong with poor people. It doesn't mean that only medium income people belong with medium income people. It's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm suggesting is that if you want to be completely equally yoked with people that you connect with, you ain't got to have the same kind of money, but at minimum, you better share the same perspective of money. Because if you don't, then you'll have two people where one person values money and values saving and values investing, and you'll have another person who is spending everything that they have or trying to spend everything that you have and not spending none of what they have. You need to be on the same page financially as well. And so when we think about being equally yoked, we have to look at this at a larger context and realize that anybody that we connect to from a planning perspective, whether it's friendships, relationships, marriages, whatever you do, anybody that we connect to from a much larger perspective needs to be on the same page. Here's your first note. You ready? Type this on the comments. You ready? You have to be on the same page as me. Come on, put it in the comments. You have to be on the same page as me. When you're dealing with the planner, you gotta be on the same page as that planner. You may not come from the same place. You may not have the same strengths. You may not have the same qualities. All of those things are okay. But at minimum, you got to be on the same page. And many of us have thrown our lives down the tubes, wasting time with people who are on page 30 and you walking around on page 100. You've got to be on the same page. Put it in the comments now. You have to be on the same page as me. That's so critical to understanding the lifeblood and the way in which a planner moves and operates. A planner does not move and operate based on their feelings or emotions. They don't necessarily have to move and operate based on necessarily being in the same exact area, but we need to be in the ballpark. You have to be on the same page as me. Y'all with me? Now, let me give you 5 characteristics of the planner. I'm going to give you 5 characteristics quickly of the planner tonight. If you haven't invited anybody, tag 5 people quickly. If you're in a watch party, tag them quickly. I want you to invite 5 people quickly. I'm going to give you these 5 characteristics of a planner. I hope we have set a good framework to understanding God is the first planner that we've ever known, right? That in fact, how he created the earth was a great demonstration of how you go about planning and how he looked at things in such a large scope, but he never did things unintentionally. He did everything step by step, phase by phase, with a plan in mind, with a destination in mind, with a purpose in mind. And so I want to give you 5 characteristics of the planner because planners move with the future in mind. If you got a planner, you have somebody who is moving with the future in mind. I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. Let me just go on and make you mad real fast because this is a really light lesson tonight. If who you are connected to never talks about the future, you don't have a plan, period. Just go ahead and kill the lesson. You can get off the feed. You've heard everything you need to hear. If you are connected to a person who never talks futuristically with you, who never deals with the future, talks about future plans, future goals, future aspirations, doesn't see things in the context of what's going to happen next or how do we prepare for what's next, you don't have a plan on your hand. You don't have a person who is purpose-driven on your hand. And you probably have a time waster on your hand. All right. And so number 1, the first characteristic of a planner is this. You ready? They make intentional moves, not accidental ones. Planners make intentional moves, not accidental moves. Planners make intentional moves, not accidental moves. Everything the planner does is connected to a larger plan or purpose. So you will not always understand a planner. Everything a planner does may not always make sense, but a planner never does anything by accident because everything that they do is intentional. It's not accidental, and it has the future in mind. Because of this, they are visionaries who prefer the bigger picture over the smaller picture. When you're dealing with the planner, your mindset has to be big picture when you deal with them, or you will feel lost. They don't spend time in the weeds with small, minute things. Their mindset is always big picture because it's futuristic. So your mindset with them has to be big picture when you deal with them, or you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel like they're talking ahead of you. You're going to feel like they're talking above you. You're going to feel like they don't see where you are. You're going to come across to them. They're going to come across to you as not being grounded when really they tend to see things in a visionary, futuristic type of way. So as a result, they are less likely to live in the moment. This is where I'm going to lose some of you. They're less likely to live in the moment because they're busy trying to create moments. Planners are less likely to live in the moment because they are busy trying to create moments. This is so important. They are not satisfied with temporary, short fuse types of things. They're not satisfied with short-term, short vision types of things. They're not even very much even interested in temporary, shallow, surface level types of attributes when it comes to relationships. You gonna know you got a plan on your mind. I'm gonna just help y'all. Here's free game. You gonna know you got a plan on your mind when you have somebody who lets you know that temporary satisfaction is less appealing to them than things that last. Temporary satisfaction is less appealing to them than things that actually last. They will be less interested in things that bring temporary satisfaction, and they will be more interested in things that will bring long-term enjoyment. They are more interested in the investment and less interested in the thrill. I'm giving y'all nuggets like crazy. I don't know if y'all writing or if y'all shell shocked. They are more interested in the investment than the temporary thrill, which means to a planner, you can be fine. To a planner, you can be cute. To a planner, you might know how to do the do. To a planner, you might fit the physical description and the physical bill. But for a planner, they know you fine, but their question will always be, what else you got? A planner can acknowledge your fineness, can acknowledge your shallow qualities, but a planner is always going to want to know what else you got. You know you got a plan on your hand. You know you are a planner. Watch this. When you are less pulled by the shallow things that used to attract you. I hate to break this news to y'all, and this is going to hurt some of y'all's feelings, but I hate to break this news to y'all. As fine as you think you are, as cute as you think you are, as attractive as you think you're, as bad as you think your shape is, fellas, as nice as you think your physique is, as nice and as well-dressed as you think you are, let me just help you. You just go on Instagram. You can find folks that take your fine and make your fine look silly ugly. It's a whole lot of fine people out here. The world, I'm gonna go easy for your folks. The world is filled with all kinds of fine people. So in this world, we are of no shortage of fineness. Fineness is everywhere. When you got a planner on your mind, a planner can acknowledge your fineness. A planner can acknowledge your sex game. I'm gonna be nice. We dealt with that the first 8 weeks. I'm gonna be nice tonight. You might have a good sex game, whatever you got. But a planner is gonna say, that's all great, but what else you bringing to the table? What else do you have? I want you to put in the comments right now, I know you fine, but what else you got? Come on, bust the devil up to his white meat quickly. I know you fine, but what else you got? I know you cute, but what else you bring to the table? I know you get your hair done every week, but can we have a conversation beyond nails and hair and bike week? Man, I know you good looking. You got a nice car. I know you got a nice physique. I get all of that. But what does your future look like? I know you fine, man, but what else you got? I know you cute, but what else you bringing to this table? What else are you bringing to the rest? And when you got a planner will tell you straight up, right from the jump, that I'm trying to make intentional moves, not accidental ones, and you got to bring a whole lot more to the table than superficial things. Y'all with me? Second characteristic of a planner. Second characteristic of a planner. The second characteristic of a planner is this. To planners, titles and labels matter. For the planner, titles and labels matter. For the planner, this is the second characteristic of a planner. Titles and labels matter. They understand that you don't make purchases without identity. Now, this doesn't mean that every planner wants to be married. This doesn't mean that every planner, the end goal is going to be marriage. In fact, I want to just say this to all of you. Again, bust all of you single folks bubbles real quick. Marriage is a ministry, and it's not for everybody. It's not. Marriage is not for everybody. Paul tells us this. Marriage is not only a ministry, but it's not for everybody. In fact, Paul makes it clear that if he had a preference, that it would be that you would stay single so that you could not only give more time to God, but so that you wouldn't have to deal with all the drama that sometimes is marriage. Marriage ain't for everybody. It's not. It's a ministry. And if you don't want to be in ministry, you don't want to be married. Hello? You don't want to be in ministry. You don't want to be married. So it ain't for everybody. So this doesn't mean for the planner that the end game is always marriage. Here's what it means. It means that the planner, they want to label what they have or what they are doing so their purpose is clear. The planner wants to label what they have or what they are doing so the purpose is clear. So a planner, I'm going to help some of y'all. This is more free game alert. When you got a planner on your hand, even if they ain't sure about you, they'll tell you straight up in the beginning, look, I want us to be clear about what we're doing and where we're heading. And the clear thing is right now, we don't know. So let's just be friends. We will continue to be friends and get to know one another. But I want us to be clear in the beginning where we are so there's no misunderstanding. Those are the conversations planners have. Because even if a planner doesn't know whether or not they want to be with you or marry you, they will be straight up with you from the beginning. Even if they don't see a future with you, they would rather label what you are than act like you are something else to them. I'm trying to help y'all in this good basement tonight. A planner would rather just label what y'all are. Hey, we friends. Heck, you might have a planner that's a friends with benefits, whatever you doing. But at least that planner is going to tell you from the beginning, listen, this is all we are. And if you're okay with that, because I don't want to waste your time, I don't want you to waste my time, then this is what we're going to. A planner, if nothing else, they're straight up. And they're straight up from the beginning. Because they would rather, again, label what you are than to walk around and act like you are something else. I hate to tell this and break this to many of you, but many of you have been with boys and girls instead of men and women. Because boys and girls will act like it's something in the beginning when they really know at the end they really don't want it to be what they're acting like. Men and women will tell you straight up, listen, I ain't trying to be married right now. I'm not trying to do whatever right now. This is where I am in my life. And I'm telling you this to be straight up with you so that we can be honest to see if we're on the same page. And if you're on the same page, whatever that agreement is, then great. If you're not on the same page, at least they were straightforward in the beginning. A planner is never going to leave you in the dark. Planner is going to be straightforward with you from the beginning. Are y'all with me? Characteristic number 3. You haven't missed the whole thing. If you're in, get in. I want you to scroll these comments because I've already given 2 characteristics. I've got 3 more to go. I'm making good time. Pastor's determined tonight to end us on time. Characteristic number 3 of the plan. Is this blessing anybody already? Come on, I don't have a lot of comments tonight. Is this blessing anybody tonight? Characteristic number 3 of the planner. All right, so we said characteristic 2, to them titles and labels matter. Watch this. Characteristic number 3. The third characteristic of a planner is this. Their future is their priority, not your happiness. Their future is their priority and not your happiness. When you're dealing with a planner, the future is their priority, not your happiness. They are more interested in what the future looks like than whether or not you're happy or sad. You got a planner on your hand, you got somebody who's business minded, who's future oriented on your hand. Now listen, if this future includes you, here's some more free game. You got a plan on your hand, and I just told you that the future is their priority, not your happiness. But you are dating a planner. And I just told you that planner looks to the future as the priority, not your happiness, and you're dating a planner, I'm being very intentional with repeating this, and you're dating a planner, then you have to embrace the preparation that comes with being a planner. Because if you are with a planner and you know that the planner is moving with the future in mind, then they're going to take you on a journey that sometimes won't always feel good, which means they are less interested in the short term. They're less interested in how you feel at the moment. They're less interested in what pleases you or satisfies you in the moment. And they always see the moves they make, the decisions they make, the things that they do with the future in mind. So they will sacrifice instant happiness for long-term happiness, for long-term success. They will sacrifice instant gratification for long-term success, which is why when you got a plan on your hand, you can't quit on a planner. More free game alert. You cannot quit on a planner. Let me tell you why you can't quit on a planner. You ready? Because when you quit on a planner, it tells them what you think about their future and your future with them. I'm going to say that again, and I'm going to say it slow. When you quit on a planner, it tells them what you think about your future with them. Because oftentimes they will make moves right now that don't feel good to you. But these moves are necessary. These moves are necessary, even if they bring temporary discomfort now, they're necessary for future long-term success. And so you can't get caught up in what it feels like right now when you're dealing with a planner, because the planner is always moving with what's ahead in mind. I know y'all don't like this, but being connected to a planner is less about being happy. Just go ahead and kill it. It's less about being happy, and it's more about the sacrifice that creates happiness, right? And so where a lot of people mess up is that you get connected to a planner, and a planner is moving in ways that you don't like, that makes you uncomfortable. Y'all dating, y'all planning for marriage, y'all planning, or you're married and you're planning for the future, and you want to go out here and spend all of this money on clothes and all this crazy stuff. And the planner who's thinking about the future gonna say, "No, listen, we need to take 6 months. We don't need to spend on nothing but essentials." Let me tell you something. If you don't understand the bigger plan, you're gonna walk around mad, pouty face, because you can't shop, because you can't do whatever, and it's gonna make you feel some kind of way. But you better hear me, and hear me well. When you quit on a person like that who's moving with the future in mind, you better know this. When you quit on them, you ain't just quitting on them. You quitting on your future with them. When you quit on them, you ain't just quitting on them. You are actually quitting on your future with them. Because they ain't moving to try to please you. They're moving to try to settle you. They're moving to try to make things comfortable for you, because planners are futuristic in mind. They can delay instant gratification for the long-term goal of what it is that they're trying to accomplish. One of the most powerful traits, and it probably should have made this top 5 cut, but I didn't put it here, is that planners do pretty well with avoiding instant gratification. This is just a bonus characteristic. They can give up instant gratification in a second when they know what's down the road. They can make any kind of sacrifices right now because they know it's going to pay off at the end. So watch this. If you got a planner on your hand and they asking you to make sacrifices now and you don't want to make the sacrifices, watch this. Here's the flip side. They're asking you to make sacrifices now. You don't want to make the sacrifices because you don't want to operate in instant gratification, or you would rather operate in instant gratification. You want to get everything that you get now. You want to get everything that you can have right now. And they're trying to tell you, hey, listen, let's make these sacrifices. Let's not move too fast in this space. Let's slow down this here. But you can't see the plan and you get frustrated. You go out here and do your own thing. Watch this. And then the plans of the planner works. When a planner's plans succeed without your support, it's hard for you to jump in at the end and try to reap the benefits of the plan. Did y'all hear what I said? When you give up on the plans of the planner because of instant gratification. You got to have it now. You don't want to make the sacrifices. And so they continue on. And then you try to jump back on the bandwagon when the plans are working out. Planners normally aren't interested in you coming back in the plans. Let me give you Bible. Jesus said, if you suffer with me, you can reign with me. What makes you think that if you don't suffer with a planner, that you ought to be able to reign with the planner? If you don't make sacrifices with a planner, that you ought to be able to reap with a planner? I'm here to tell you, you can't quit on a planner. You cannot quit on a planner, because if you quit on a planner, ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back because of all of the sacrifices and the investments of sacrifices that they already made. I'm on characteristic number 4. Watch this. I want you to put this in the comments right now before I give you the 4th characteristic. Put it in the comments right now. You can't quit on a planner. Somebody needs to hear that tonight. Can't do it. Can't quit on a planner. You have to jump in, and you have to understand that the moves that they make are investments, and they are not short-term instant gratification deals. And if you gotta have all of your results right now, and you gotta see all of the fruit of your labor right now, then the planner data is not going to work for you, because they are purpose-driven. They are future-driven. They ain't thinking about making you smile right now. They would rather y'all have to cry and eat beanies and weenies every night and y'all banking money than to be walking around eating out every other day and every weekend and y'all ain't got a dime to your name in the bank. That's what planners do. I'm going to give you another characteristic of a planner that I did not include in the top 5, but it probably could have made the cut. Let me tell you what else a planner don't mind doing. A planner does not mind telling you no. A planner does not mind telling you no. This ain't the 4 characteristics. This is another bonus characteristic. A planner will tell you no in a minute. A planner with a straight face will tell you no in a minute. Why? Because if the thing that you're interested in doing, if the thing that you're proposing, if the ideas that you're moving don't fit into a futuristic type of purpose, they're not going to waste their time doing it. They'll tell you no in a minute. Watch you pout. Watch you get in your feelings. Watch you block them. Come on, some of you folk like to block people. I told you on the 5 things that I learned last week. I meant it. I ain't never blocked a soul in my life. I won't start. Before I block you, I'll delete you. That way I ain't got to ever worry about seeing you ever. Right? Planners don't mind telling you no. Planners in a minute will tell you no, especially if being with you, being associated with you, lines up with their future goals and their future purpose. Their purpose is far more bigger and far more important than your satisfaction. Are y'all with me? Look at verse 4. Not verse 4, characteristic 4. It's going to get dicey here, but I'm going to hurry up and move. My time's moving. Characteristic 4. 4th characteristic of a planner is this. Woo. 4th characteristic of a planner is this. They will like you, but still break up with you to preserve purpose. A planner will like you and still break up with you to preserve purpose. Did y'all hear what I said? 4th characteristic of a planner. They will like you, they can like you, and still break up with you to preserve purpose. This is a powerful one, y'all. Some of you are discovering right now that you are a planner. And let me tell you how you know. Because you have discovered that your purpose is always more important to you than what you prefer. Your purpose is always more important than your preference. Your purpose has always been more important than your preference. Instead of you running after your preference, you run after your purpose. And these are the kinds of people that can literally like you. But if liking you does not line up with their purpose, they will go after their purpose instead of going after their preference of who you are. This is too much tonight. These are the kinds of daters that will say things to you like, listen, I like you. I think you're nice. I think you got a lot going for yourself. This just ain't gonna work. And listen, it's not you. It's me. Did y'all hear what I said? These are the daters that say stuff like, it's not you, it's me. And they ain't saying it to be sarcastic. You know, some folks say that they're being sarcastic. Nah, they really think it is you. These people really mean it. No, it's not you. You're a great person. You got a lot going for you. You got a lot of energy. It ain't even you. It's me. These are the folks that say that and they mean it. These are purposeful. These are planners. Planners will be quick to tell you, listen, it ain't even you. It's me. You're not even the problem. I'm the problem, and where I'm trying to head and where I'm trying to go, and my preference for you and my desire for you just doesn't line up. You ready for this? I don't want y'all to forget this. Y'all ready? Remember this. You will know you're serious about your purpose when you'll give up what you like to have it. Put this in the comments right now. Man, I wish I had time tonight. You will know you are serious about your purpose when you are willing to give up what you like to have your purpose. You want to know if you're serious about your purpose? Are you willing to give up what you like to have it? Are you willing to give up what you enjoy to have it? Are you willing to give up what you are attracted to have it? Now, I'm about to lose some of you here. Some of you blew it. Because some of you didn't go after your purpose. You went after what you were attracted to. And because you went after what you were attracted to, instead of going after what looked like your purpose, you ended up with a lot of fluff and stuff and surface, but you did not end up with a lot of substance that led you to a purposeful, meaningful situation. I'm here to tell you that when your mindset becomes that of a planner, the fluff and stuff, you can buy that at the store. Folks are buying surgeries to get bodies that they want. You can buy a body. Fellas, listen to me. You can buy a body. If it comes down to it, you can buy that. But let me tell you what you can't buy. You can't buy purpose. And when you're serious about purpose, you'll give up what you like. Y'all don't hear me. You'll give up what you're attracted to. You'll give up what turns you on. You'll give up your style, your preference. You'll give up all of that foolishness for your purpose, because your purpose will be greater than all of those things, and you'll be willing to give it up to go after it. I'm here to tell you, you will know you are serious about your purpose when you are willing to give up what you like to have it. And it might be painful, because they might be beautiful. They might be gorgeous. They might fit every kind of attribute that you think is just the dream, whatever for you. But you know deep down inside, they ain't got no purpose or no future with you. They ain't got no purpose or no future with your life. They ain't got no purpose. Their purpose doesn't even align up with the plans that you have for your own life. And you know deep down inside it is just a big waste of time. And I'm here to tell you, when you are a planner, you don't go after what you want. You always go after what you need. Because let me tell you something. What you want ain't going to pay the bills. Fine ain't paying no bills. Did y'all hear what I said? I tried not to holler. Fine is not paying no bills. Care how fine she is, it ain't paying no bills. I don't care how fine he is, it ain't paying no bills. It's not paying no bills. And so when you're serious about your purpose, you don't go after what you want. You go after what you need. Let me tell you what pay the bills. Good credit pay the bills. Oh, I can't hear no amens in here. I can't see no hearts on this good here live. Good credit pay the bills. Good jobs pay the bills. Responsibility pays the bills. Not running the street and taking care of your kids pays the bills. Not all of this other foolishness that we go after. Well, child, he bow-legged. Child, she bow-legged. Child, she got long hair. Fine ain't never paid my Duke Energy bill. Fine ain't never put no gas in my car. Ever. Cute ain't gonna put no gas in your car. Fine don't pay the bills, but good credit does. A couple of degrees will. A good job will. Maybe they ain't got no degrees. Maybe they ain't gotta have no high paying job. There ought to be something attractive about a hard worker. God, I ain't got time to deal with this. But I'm gonna take 60 seconds and say it. You want to talk about what turned you on? It shouldn't be this foolishness about how they look and how they walk, and if they got the thought stance in all of their pictures. All of this foolishness. None of that stuff matter. You know the stuff that ought to turn you on? They ain't gotta have no white collar job. They ain't gotta be no Fortune 500 executive. They could have a regular 9 to 5, make $10, $15 an hour. But the fact that they get up and go to work every day, I can't hear nobody. I'm losing you now. Well, Pastor, they got to be on Wall Street. And here you are talking about you got to have somebody on Wall Street, and you can barely spell Wall Street. It ain't connected to the types of jobs you got. It's connected to the work habits that they got. Do they work every day? Do they get up and work responsibly every day? Do they work 40 hours every week? Are they willing to work 40 hours a week? Even if they got a construction job, even if they work fast food, do they work it hard and work it honestly? Do they call out of work every other day? Are they switching jobs every 6 weeks? Y'all not talking to me here. Those kinds of traits ought to be turning you on. Because I'm going to tell you, a little bit of money can dress up anything. I don't care if he got an eyeball in the middle of his head. Fellas, I don't care if her glass is so thick that she can see who win the election in November. None of that matter to me. If you got a little bit of money and you got a little bit of stability, you got some good credit, and you got a decent job, you can put some money on an ugly problem and you can make it look better. Y'all don't like this kind of teaching. They don't teach like this in church no more. You can put some money on an ugly problem and make it look better. But let me tell you something. Quit going after the superficial stuff and go after the stuff that counts. Are they responsible? Let me tell you something. I hate to break the news to y'all. If they ain't taking care of their own kids, they ain't going to take care of some kids with you. Stop making kids with folks who don't take care of their own kids. Lord, my numbers was low anyway, so I just figured I'd just zap them anyway. Stop. If you can see they ain't taking care of their own children, why in the world you going to go make kids with them? For what? Stop. It's because you go after superficial things. You have allowed yourself to become bound by how large their hands are, how big their shoe size is, or fellas, if she got a tongue ring, or how she's staying in her pictures. You have been bamboozled. You have been led astray. You have been made man amok. And I'm here to tell you, it's all superficial stuff. You better find out if they're responsible. Because I'm going to tell you something. He can be fine, but if he don't want to go to work, y'all going to be broke and making love in the dark. You're going to be making love, and the man going to come outside while you making love and going to cut the water off because he ain't paid the water bill. And I ain't talking about because he forgot. Been there, done that. I'm talking about because he don't want to go to work. Fellas, you're going to be so caught up on how she can give you the business that the only thing she's going to be able to have to offer you is cute because she's lazy. What good is having somebody fine and they lazy? Lazy ain't going to take care of no house. Lazy ain't going to take care of no apartment. Oh, I know I'm losing you now. I said what I meant, and I'm coming for the white meat. Stop. We looking for all the wrong characteristics, all the wrong qualities. And some of you need to stop going after the superficial stuff and look to the more tangible stuff. Because I'm here to tell you, he can be fine, but if he lazy, he ain't going to be able to take care of you. Everybody go through a job transition. But when you got a man that's a hard-working man, let me tell you something, ladies, that ought to turn you on, that ought to make you feel uncomfortable just sitting. You ought to be just slipping and sliding in your seat. Let me tell you something. If you got a man that's got a work ethic, he ain't even got to have the best job. He'll work 2 and 3 jobs to make sure he takes care of business. Fellas, let me tell you something. She can be fine, but if she lazy, she ain't gonna keep no clean house. She not gonna keep no clean place. And my grandma used to say it like this: if the house nasty, it's a good chance everything else in the house. Y'all don't like this here. You better off. Can I just, I'm about to be over my time, but forget it. We there. I'ma just go and deal with this. I hate the movie. Color Purple gives me good preaching material. I hate the movie. Color Purple gives me good preaching material. But let me tell y'all something. Mr. couldn't stand her. Old pedophile couldn't stand Mr. in Color Purple. But let me tell y'all something. Do y'all know why Mr. chose Celie? Y'all don't like this here. Y'all, I know. I'm losing half of my viewers. Y'all better tag somebody for this last characteristic. Do you know why Mr. chose Celie? Because he had a choice. He went to that daddy, and he had a choice between Celie and what was the other one's name? Shoot. What was the other lady's name? It was Celie, Nettie. He had a choice between Celie and Nettie. Now, the father looked and said, you can't have Nettie. Nettie was fine. Nettie was cute. He said, look, let me give you Celie. And watch this. He said, I want you to take Celie because Celie know how to keep a house clean. She cooks. She cleans. And notice now, and gosh, I hate to get this graphic because I don't know if kids on the line. But look, notice that even when they were doing the do, he didn't even want to look at her. And she was so grossed out that she didn't want to halfway look at him. But let me tell you something. All of them kids he had running around the house, them kids was clean. Them kids was throwing stuff around. She was picking up behind them kids. That house was clean. Do you remember the scene in Color Purple when she cooked that breakfast? Do you remember this? Did y'all see them eggs and that country ham on that skillet? Mr. did not choose Celie because she was fine. Yes, he had some problems. I'm not saying this is perfect. Hear me out. He chose her because she knew how to keep a house. I'm trying to help some of y'all. And this, I'm gender neutral. I ain't just talking about men choosing women. I'm talking about some of you women choosing men too. You better stop choosing these men because they cute and because they got on gray sweatpants and you saw a print. You better start choosing these Negroes because they got a solid work history. If anybody then changed jobs 6 times in 1 year, it's a red flag. Y'all don't like the way I'm preaching. Talk back to me. It ain't superficial, but it's gonna pay the bills. I gotta say, I'm not gonna say that because that really belongs to Rehab After Dark. I was about to say something real ignorant, and I'm gonna just chill because y'all looking at Prince and all that. He might be chilling with Webster, but if he go to work every day, you can dress him up. You can get him some pills. I'm trying to help you. Instagram, I'm gonna lose you in 20 seconds. Y'all might want to come back in for this last part. I'm sorry, I was supposed to be finished, but I feel like I'm just way in the left it. Yeah, you looking for a print, and you might not even be able to find a print with that rascal. He might be chilling with Webster, but he go to work every day. You better stick with him. You better stick with him. Y'all don't like the way I'm talking here. And it's because so many of you have been so superficial when it comes to the things that you choose, when it comes to the things that you look for in mates. We've been so superficial that we have missed the entirety of who it is that God wants to bless us with. You gotta snap out of this superficial nature of choosing mates. I want you to put this in the comments right now. Stop being so superficial. Put it in the comments right now. Stop being so superficial. Put it in the comments right now. Stop it. Y'all stop. Stop being so superficial. Many of you have lost potential soulmates because you were being so superficial in the way in which you were going about choosing the people in your life. You were so superficial. You only looked at things that would satisfy you temporarily, and you never saw this as a journey of looking at things that you need instead of looking at things that you want and desire. Stop being so superficial. Stop. Now, pastor's not saying, I got one more characteristic, y'all, one more trait, y'all deal with me. Pastor's not saying, because I say to you, stop being so superficial. Pastor's not saying that you should not have an attraction to whoever you decide to talk with. There shouldn't be some type of physical attraction. Pastor's not suggesting that. It is okay to be physically attracted to who it is that you choose to be with, who it is that you choose to go in covenant with, who it is that you choose to go into relationship. It's okay to be attracted. It is okay. I'm saying that your level of attraction to them should not be the primary element. And when you are a planner, it's not. I'm just telling you what I know. Some of you missed your soulmate because they were not packaged the way you like them from an attraction standpoint. And you missed what God was trying to give you that would have easily lined up with your purpose and his plan for your life. And all I'm saying is, don't miss what God got planned for you because you're looking at all the wrong things. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it, fellas. Don't miss her. You looking at all the wrong stuff. And she may not have developed and blossomed yet, but don't miss her. She may have a work ethic, be responsible, not lazy. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Do not miss it. Ladies, I know you're young. I know you like them a little edgy. You want a little thug to them. You want them to have a little thug swag to them. I get it. But I'm telling you something. Don't pass up the nerd because he don't look like the thug. Because the nerd might be a hard worker, might be responsible, and might be the one that can help walk you into your purpose. Don't miss your future. Don't miss your future looking at superficial stuff. You got to stop being so superficial. Are y'all with me? Characteristic 5. Characteristic 5 of the planner. I feel like I lost some of y'all there. I hope I didn't make y'all too mad. Characteristic number 5. Y'all ready? 5th characteristic of a planner is this. They won't risk ruining your life just to be in your life. A planner will not ruin your life just to be in your life. A planner, this is so good to me, will not ruin your life just to be in your life. A planner will not ruin your life just to be in your life. A planner understands who they are. They recognize the weight of their purpose. And if being in your life is going to ruin your life, they will never compromise their purpose or your purpose just to be in your life. Have you ever, and this is how you're going to know maybe you're a planner tonight. Maybe you're hearing this tonight and you're saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, maybe I'm a planner. Because I walked away from some situations I wanted to be in, but I felt like being in people's lives would actually do them more harm than it would do them help. Had you ever been in a position where you felt like being in somebody's life would actually do them more harm than it would actually do them help? And because you recognize that, you pump the brakes on how you would be in their life, whether it was friendship, romantic, whatever. You pumped the brakes on how you would be in their life because you did not want to ruin their life just by being in their life. If you ever went through that in your mind, you might be a planner. Because planners can truly love you, truly see greatness in you, but they'll pump the brakes because they won't risk ruining your life just to be in it, just to say they got a place in your life. So they will never compromise your life just to be in it. They will never bend the rules or the destination that is called their purpose just to be in your life. No, they're going to stick to the script of what they see in themselves. They'll stick to the script of what they see in you. Just so they won't ruin your life, they are willing to pull back so that you can move your life forward. And that's how you know you got a planner on your hand. A planner will tell you straight up, listen, even if you ain't got your life together, a planner who ain't got their life together will see somebody that has their life together and will say, listen, I ain't got my life all the way where it needs to be. I'm working on some stuff. And I can see that you're a little bit further ahead than where I am. And many of the things that you're doing is where I aspire to be. And I respect you so much and respect where you are so much that I don't want to even get involved with you like that and risk ruining the progress that you've made in your life. When was the last time you had somebody say to you, listen, I don't even want to get in your life because I don't even want to ruin your progress? Are y'all listening to me? A planner will tell you, listen, I ain't trying to ruin your progress. I'm not trying to ruin your purpose. I'm not trying to ruin your growth because we're not where we needed to be. We're not on the same page. We're not on the same wheel. We're not in the same space. And because of that, I'm willing to pull back so you can continue to grow. And listen, pray for me while I try to get it together. That's what a planner does. A planner has enough self-awareness and wherewithal and self-confidence, and more than that, is so selfless that they're willing to let you go so you can go higher until they get themselves together. Or they're willing to let you go. They're not going to ruin your life just because they really want you to be a part of their lives. They're not going to ruin your life. If letting you go will make your life better, they'll let you go. If letting you walk away will make your life better, they'll let you go. Even if y'all ain't on the same page, even if y'all ain't in the same space, even if y'all ain't in the same place, they are willing to let you move on so that they don't ruin your life. And more than that, so that you don't ruin their purpose. That's what a planner does. Did this bless anybody tonight? I hope it did. I really intended to be done by now. I hope this blessed you tonight. Listen, give me about 9 minutes. I'll be done. I want to pray for you really quickly. And I know this was deep tonight because many of you are saying, Pastor, I ain't never met nobody like this. Listen, these people are out here like that. There are people out here who care enough about you that they are willing not to ruin your life at the expense of their own satisfaction. And these are special people, but they're out here. And so if you really, truly desire that in your life, I'm praying that God sends it your way. I'm praying that God sends the kind of people your way that love you so much that they're willing not to ruin your life because they see the potential on your life. They see the promise on your life, and they know they're not quite where they need to be, but they respect where you are enough to see where you need to be and to see where you're going and to see the direction that you're heading. Listen, I want to pray for you tonight. If this bless you tonight, if you've got a prayer request, do me a favor really quickly. I need 8 more minutes of your time. If you've got a prayer request, I want you to type it in the comments right now. I am turning the comments on my screen so I can see them because you know I like to read comments on Tuesdays. If this message bless you, you've got a prayer request on tonight, I want you to type your prayer request in the comments right now. I want to pray for you and pray over your prayer request tonight. Come on, quickly. Complete healing for my friend. I'm praying for your friend, my friend as well. There are several people that have doctor's appointments this week, and I'm praying that God sends complete healing for them. I'm praying for them. Thank you so much, Pastor and family. I appreciate that greatly. Elder Misty. Come on. Any other prayer requests tonight? Quickly. Rehab CC. Certainly praying for the church and the ministry. Is there anybody tonight that has a prayer request that they don't mind typing in the comments? Maybe it's too personal. Maybe you've got something that you want me to pray for and it's not publicly known. Email that prayer request to info@rehabcc. You should see it on your screen. You should see moderators putting it there. email that prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. And I'll see that prayer request. I'd be happy to pray for your prayer request and over your prayer requests all week long. I'll be honest with you, not working out this week. I'm taking a week off. I just finished another tape. I'll start another one next week. And Pastor woke up this morning at 6:30, and I felt like I slept until 12 noon. Waking up at 6:30 felt like I had been in the bed till 12 noon, and it was a great feeling because I had such a grueling day today. And so I hope y'all don't mind that this week, instead of me getting up at 5 every morning, if I get up at 6:30, just to rest a little bit more this week, so that I can start over fresh again next week. All right. And so I'm praying for you. Yes, healing. I see that coming across. Direction for your aunt and for yourself. Absolutely. Praying for that. Keep our family in your prayers. Those of you that have lost family members, I'm praying for you, especially during this COVID season, or to other tragedies, praying for you. Yes, my family, my friends, my PPM family, my rehab family, and the special people in my life. Absolutely. I'm praying for that. Absolutely praying for that. Rest, Pastor. I'm going to rest this week. I promise to do that. And so I apologize for sleeping an extra 90 minutes or later this week. Any more prayer requests quickly? Traveling this weekend, family, friends, rehab family, friends, loved ones, co-workers, total protection around them. Uncle Preston, praying for Uncle Preston. Strength, guidance, peace of mind. A special plan is in your life. Absolutely. Healing, wisdom. I see it coming. Knowledge, revelation. God's going to do that. Wisdom, strength, and patience. Amen to that. My children, grandchildren, brothers, sister, pastor, family, Rehab Christian Center, our church leaders, health, state of the world leaders, family business, those of you that are business owners. I'm praying for all of these things. Praying for your family. Healing, strength, wisdom, direction, focus. That's a good one. Praying for all of you this week. Listen, quickly, put your hands together like this. Clasp them. Clasp your hands together just like this as a sign of faith. It's not hocus pocus. You are putting your hands together as a sign of faith to touch and agree with me. If you got somebody in the room with you, feel free, and they're tuned in, feel free to reach out to them and grab their hands. And I want you to grab their hands. But if not, if you're by yourself, I want you to clasp your hands just like this. And let's pray. I want to take 60 seconds and pray with you quickly. All right. Don't move. I want to pray with you quickly. Are you ready? Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you tonight for this word. Thank you for this awesome series you've given us. I pray, God, that something was said or done over this 9-week period of time that has encouraged somebody, that has inspired somebody, that has challenged somebody to not only see who they date differently, to see who they connect with differently, to see who they are in relationship or friendship with differently, but most importantly, to see ourselves differently. God, before we point fingers anywhere, help us to see you clearly in our lives so that we might be everything you have called us to be in this season and in this hour. God, I pray now and send up to you now special prayers for every prayer request that has come across this airway. God, there are people that are hurting, and there are people that are ailing. There are people that have critical appointments this week for health conditions, appointments for their family, appointments for their business, appointments for school, appointments for their loved ones. I'm praying, God, that you would meet them where they are, meet them where they're heading, and give them victory and favor in those spaces. God, we speak healing over these airways. We speak wisdom over these airways. We speak increased strength over these airways. God, give somebody focus and direction. Somebody doesn't know where to go. They don't know what next step to take. They don't know what next move to make. I pray, God, that you would send divine direction, that you would send divine instruction so that we are reminded that the steps of a good man are ordered by you. Help us, God, order our steps so that everything that we say, everything that we do might not only be pleasing to you, but that, God, you would continue to steer us and lead us and guide us in the path according to the plan that you have for our lives. Not just for us, God, but for everybody who lifted up a prayer request tonight for somebody else. I pray, God, that the very thing that they prayed for somebody else would come back to their household. I pray, God, that the very thing that they lifted up for somebody else might come back to their own household. I pray, God, that the very thing they lifted up for somebody else's family might come back to their family. That the very thing that they lifted up for somebody else's healing might come back to their own health. God, I pray now for every person that selflessly lifted somebody else up in prayer, that, God, you would answer their prayers and that you would do it right away. We thank you for these things and count them done in Jesus' name. Amen. Listen, you prayed that prayer with me. I want you to put in the comments quickly. It is so. Come on, hurry, quickly. Put it in the comments. It is so. You prayed that prayer with me tonight. I'm praying for you. I want you to know, you job seekers that are going after new careers, I'm praying that God gives you a yes to applications. You folks that are going in for health appointments this week, I'm praying that God intervenes in the bloodstream that goes into the test and gives you positive results, not positive in a bad way, but positive in a positive way. I'm praying that God meets you in the classroom. Those of you that are in school, that are finishing up papers, that are finishing up assignments, that are preparing for the fall season of school, that God gives you supernatural strength not to quit. I'm praying that God, for those of you that lifted up your family members, that God goes to meet them where they are, and that he answers every prayer concerning your family members, not because they deserve it, but for your name's sake. I'm praying that he does it today. Listen, there's anybody that wants to be saved. If there's anybody that wants to dedicate their life to Christ, many of you may have seen my video. I tell you, my own Sunday, my whole week was made Sunday. I prayed the sinner's prayer. I had no idea that my daughter Giselle was over there praying that prayer. She came up to me afterwards and said, Daddy, I prayed the prayer and because I wanted to be saved, and it really touched my heart in a mighty way. I'm here to tell you, she's only 7 years old, and I'm here to tell you that if God can put on the hearts and the minds of a 7-year-old to say the sinner's prayer and give their life to Christ, he can certainly do it for you. Maybe you're saying, Pastor, I'm not perfect. I've got a lot of issues in my life and I can't give my life to Christ. I'm here to tell you, salvation is a matter of Romans 10:9. You don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is confess that you are a sinner. And not only confess that you are a sinner, but confess your faith and belief in the one that is able to make all things new. That's Jesus Christ. We believe him. And I believe that if he can touch the heart of my 7-year-old daughter, that he certainly can touch your heart today. I believe there's somebody on this call tonight. I don't know where you are, but I believe that there's somebody on this call. In fact, I believe there are 4 people on this call tonight that have heard this word, that want to dedicate their life to Christ, that want to be saved. I want you to stop where you are. I want you to stop where you are. I need all of my prayer warriors, all of my believers, those of you that are already saved. I need you to stop what you're doing and I need you to pray right now, because somebody is going to dedicate their life to Christ and we want to touch and agree with them right now. Listen, if you want to be saved, if you want to dedicate your life to Christ, don't care where you are, what stream you're on, what live watch party that you're in, maybe you're watching the replay. I want you to tune in. I want you to repeat after me. If you want to be saved, I want you to stop and repeat after me right now. Repeat after me. I am a sinner. I'm not perfect. I have some flaws and failures, but I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. Yet 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. Listen, you prayed that prayer tonight. I'm clapping my hands in the virtual space to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. There's no better family to be a part of. There's no better kingdom family to be a part of. And I'm here to tell you, you have made the right decision tonight to dedicate your life to Christ and to be saved. Salvation belongs to you. Now, I need you to find a church home. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're in the local area here in the Triad area. I don't care if you're in California, LA, Atlanta, or Texas, France, or Germany. We have viewers that tune in every single week from out of the country who never miss a week. I don't care where you are. I want you to find a Bible-believing church. I want you to join that church, and I want you to dedicate your life and your efforts to that ministry. It is so important because God now wants to give you an Acts 2:38 testimony. In fact, that now that you have dedicated your life to Christ, he wants you to rub elbows with other believers so that his presence can continue to abide where you are and that he can fill you with his Holy Spirit. I believe he wants to do it. The Bible says that that promise is not only for you, but it's for your children and everybody else connected to you that are called even afar off. I believe God wants to fill you with his presence. I believe God wants to fill you with this power. And so I am touching and agreeing with you tonight that you would find a church home, that you can connect with, that you can grow in, that you can serve with, and that you would not only grow in that church home, but that you would continue to dedicate your life to Christ. Maybe you don't have a church home. Maybe you're looking for a place that you can call home. I tell you this, I would love to be your pastor. Rehab is not a perfect church, but it is without a doubt the perfect place for imperfect. It is, in fact, the perfect place for imperfect people. And I believe that God can certainly bless you and certainly would bless you in a ministry where you can learn from the word of God. I would love to be your pastor. I would love to be the person who is partly responsible for seeing your growth spiritually. Listen, if you don't have a church home, you should see moderators on the screen. Feel free to simply like their comment and they will respond to you, get some information from you. And I would love to welcome you as a part and as a member of the Rehab Christian Center family. I tell you this, I'm so excited, friends, to be with you tonight and so grateful for how you have supported us in a tremendous way. And it is my prayer that this message tonight has blessed you in a mighty, mighty, mighty way. Listen, it's giving time. It's giving time, and I want to challenge all of you to give. Let me just say this again in a very frank way. You all have been such a blessing to us in our ministry during this COVID season. We've been completely virtual, and the way the trends are trending, it's no telling when we will be able to get back in the building. But I am personally grateful for all of you. Your support, large, small, or indifferent, has really been a blessing to me. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for you sowing into our ministry and giving to a ministry that has done so much for the community. We're not just a church that makes a lot of noise. We are a church that believes in giving back to the community. And we've done that in a tremendous way. On August the 10th, we will turn 7 years old. We will be 7 years old on August the 10th. And we are grateful to say that in less than 7 years, we have fed and clothed over 20,000 people. Fed and clothed over 20,000 people. And we're a small ministry, 200, maybe 250 people, a small ministry. But God has blessed us as a small group to do so many tremendous things in such a short period of time. And it has been because of giving. It has not been because of grants or loans or anything like that. God has simply used us to be good stewards and owners of what people have given. And we've turned around and been such a great blessing to the people in our community. So I want to challenge you to give tonight. If this ministry has been a blessing to you, if this series has been a blessing to you, many of you have said, Pastor, I need you to write this series in a book. It was my intention to put this into book format, and this summer has just been incredibly busy. So we will see how the rest of the year goes. But if this series has been a blessing to you, the 7-Dater series has been a blessing to you, if you have shared it with anybody, I want to challenge you to give tonight. You can give one of three ways. You can give via Cash App at $RehabCCGive. That's $RehabCCGive. You can give through our website at www.rehabcc.org. Just go to www.rehabcc.org, and you're going to choose online giving and follow the prompts. Choose online giving, follow the prompts there. Or you can give from your cell phone, right from your cell phone, right from your bed, your kitchen table, wherever you are, by texting the word Rehab Works to 88202. If you text the word Rehab Works to 88202, you're going to get a message right to your phone. Simply follow the prompts and you can give right from your phone. Again, I want to give you those three ways you can give tonight. You can give via Cash App at $RehabCCGive. That's Cash App at $RehabCCGive. You can give from our website at www.rehabcc.org. That's www.rehabcc.org. Or you can give from your cell phone by texting the word Rehab Works to 88202. Text Rehab Works to 88202. And right to your cell phone, you'll get a message, you'll get a prompt, and you follow those prompts, and you can be a blessing to our ministry tonight. Again, I can't say thank you enough to all of you who have been such a fundamental blessing to our ministry during this COVID season. And I want to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart for being such a blessing to us. Listen, I hope to see you Sunday morning, 9:08. We are right back in this virtual space. I promise to have another very powerful word for you on Sunday. Do me a favor. You can do me a favor. You can help this ministry, not only by giving into this ministry, but you can help this ministry by spreading the word about this ministry. Tell 5 people about this ministry between now and Sunday. Invite 5 people between now and Sunday to tune in to this ministry to hear a powerful word from God. And you can tell them this, guarantee them that they're going to hear a word that's not only powerful, but they're going to hear a word that they can understand. They're going to hear a word that that relates to their lives, that they can apply to their lives so that they can be better people, so that they can be better believers. And so I need you to invite 5 people to church on Sunday, and I would love to see you there. All right, I'm done. I ran about 20 minutes longer than what I wanted to tonight, but I pray that this message, this series has been a blessing to you. I want you to know that I love you. I'm praying for you and your family. I want you to have a tremendous week. I want you to be encouraged this week. I am praying for you, rooting for you. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that God is going to answer some prayers this week. And so I want you to be encouraged, put a smile on your face, even if you feel like crying. And I want you to be encouraged this week to know that God is working things out for your good and in your favor. All right. I love you. I'm praying for you. Peace and blessings to you and your family.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center Live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by Cash App at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encourage, enlighten, and empower you to be better. Please tune in Sunday at 9:08 a.m. for our Sunday morning experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.